sisters and I are still pretty close. We were talking the other day on a group chat, and we kind of came around to this. We were talking about our childhood, and we're like, we dealt with a lot of anxiety and trauma when we were younger. I mean, we didn't call it that. We called it Mom and Dad. But, and Uncle Billy, in the case of my sisters. And, it was, everybody's okay. Everybody's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. It was a lot. Dad, let's be honest, he was a self-medicating, depressed alcoholic, and eventually he got help. He got diagnosed Irish Catholic, which you may not be surprised to hear this. It's hereditary. Yeah. It's not contagious as long as you use a condom. Yeah. Which, Irish Catholic, and that's like a mortal sin, isn't it, to use a condom? I'm not sure. The woman back there knows. Yeah, Dad. He had his demons. He did. He had his demons. Well, technically, Mom had us. But Dad named us. Dad named us. Yeah, and it wasn't all bad. But it was definitely a tough love household, for sure. When we were just super little, crying, you upset. You were little punky little kids, and Dad would threaten us. I'll give you something to cry about. I'm like, dude. Read the room. You already did. More accurately would have been something like, I'll give you something additional to cry about. Like, that would have been more accurate. There was no shortage of shit to cry about. God, it wasn't all bad. It wasn't all bad. I'm standing here. Obviously, I survived. It was long ago. Dad, I think I got my interest in food and cooking and clothing and fashion from him. He had a couple of signature dishes. One of them, he made the most amazing shepherd's pie. Yeah, right. Just like he did roasted garlic mashed potatoes. Yeah, and you're gonna be hungry. Don't go to Carl's Jr. on your way home. The garlic mashed potatoes, the ground beef, roasted corn, and then he had this signature spice mix, which was anger and resentment that he put in there. So good, so good. And on the clothing side of things, he worked in sales, and back in the day, it was all about a suit and tie. You had to dress, and he taught me. He's like, dude, if you're wearing pants with belt loops, you got to have a belt on, or you're not properly dressed. And he practiced what he preached. I never saw him without his belt, except when he was hitting me with it. It's okay. Don't pull back from here. Also, to his credit, his belt always matched his shoes. Those are like, what does that mean? That's an old-fashioned rule. Don't wear white after Labor Day. Mom wasn't as much of a disciplinarian. Her go-to punishment was the paddle, the wooden paddle. And think about that. There was once upon a time an industry that made wooden paddles to hit kids with. I was too young to know, but I'm assuming you go to Walmart and I'm looking for the beat my kids section. What was that about? And of course, eventually parenting philosophies shifted. At least, I think they did. Maybe early 80s? That kind of went out of style. Imagine the whole industry had to pivot. It's like, what do we do with all these wooden boards, panels, and stuff? Tell you, whenever I'm at a fancy party and I see an empty charcuterie board, it's a little triggering, but I'm like, oh, Mom, I miss you. So imagine that, go to that trade show. Oh yeah, we got the new B200. It's made out of birch. The strength to weight ratio, really, the swing, boom, doesn't break the skin. That's Chris was talking about the doctor. I went to the doctor the other day, sort of part of my annual thing, and Dr. Noodleman. Yeah, Dr. Noodleman, Italian. No, I would never use his real name if I could think of a funnier one. So Noodleman it is. Noodleman it is. But at my age, you leave with referrals. So I've got for specialists, right? So I left the office the other day with a referral for a dermatologist and a gastroenterologist and an astrologist. Yeah. But because I live in LA, my insurance covers all of it. As long as Mercury's not retrograde. And my copay is only $10 and an amethyst crystal. You're being great. I'm Sean O'Connor. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the show.